Most riders chase the usual suspects, the loud, flashy, overpriced bikes. But the truth is, some of the best motorcycles are the ones hardly anyone talks about. Imagine a bike that outperforms Harleys, costs less, and lasts longer than some relationships. Stay tuned. These underrated machines might surprise you. Number 8, Suzuki GS 500. If you're looking for a motorcycle that simply does its job, no drama, no debt, no gimmicks, that's exactly what the GS 500 has delivered since the late 80s. Quiet, reliable, unassuming. No flashy fairings, no digital frills, just a simple 487cc air-cooled twin. A bike that outlives machines costing 3 times as much. And because nobody brags about it, you can still pick them up used for dirt cheap. That's exactly why clever riders grab this machine. Many dismiss it as just a beginner bike, but don't confuse that with boring. With 47 horsepower and weighing just under 180 kilograms, the GS 500 cruises all day at 110 km per hour while sipping fuel like a scooter, around 4 to 5 liters per 100 kilometers. Daily efficiency with full highway capability. Parts are everywhere, maintenance is as easy as beer and a wrench. Neutral riding position, a seat that doesn't destroy your back. Looks, only if you squint, but that understatement means used examples often go for under $3,000, most between $1,500 and $3,500. New ones are no longer sold in the US, though overseas they cost around $7,000, $8,000 before you even customize them into a cafe racer, tracker, tourer, or whatever you want. It's a blank canvas for your garage. Bottom line, if you want a reliable workhorse that doesn't constantly eat money, doesn't throw tantrums, and might even make you a better rider, the GS 500 is waiting quietly in the classifieds while everyone else pays double for the latest trend. A true bargain. No show, no bragging, just riding. Number 7, MZ Scorpion. Ever heard of the MZ Scorpion? Probably not. That's exactly what makes it a hidden gem. Built from 1994 to 2004 in East Germany, it's one of those bikes that got almost everything right yet was overlooked. An international project, Yamaha engine, British design, Italian parts, but zero marketing. No hype, no ego. At its core is a 660cc liquid-cooled single, the same 5-valve unit from Yamaha's SZR 660, producing about 48 to 58 HP. Not brutal, but at only 172 kilograms dry, it reaches 180 kilometers per hour effortlessly. Riders loved it for its simple tech, iron reliability, and huge tuning potential. Some builds squeezed 150% of the stock power out of the engine. 3 versions, Sport, Tour, and F, all far above their class. Stainless exhaust, dual seat, panniers, sometimes adjustable bars and pegs, quality chassis, brakes, wheels, everything top-notch, giving it sharp, safe handling. Why so unknown? No hype, no glossy brochures, just clever German engineering from a forgotten factory. That's why used prices remain ridiculously low, usually $2,000, $3,500, with auctions showing tour models for $2,250, $2,900, the Traveler around $3,450, and clean F models from 1996 not much more. Number 6, Yamaha YZF-600R Thundercat. The Yamaha Thundercat is one of those bikes that quietly does everything right: speed, comfort, reliability, yet hardly anyone talks about it. Built from 1995 to 2007, it sat awkwardly in Yamaha's lineup. Not a hardcore track bike like the R6, but not a soft beginner's ride either. Just a clever, well-balanced sports machine that got lost in the R6 hype. Its heart is a 599cc inline-4 with about 100 horsepower. Not record-breaking, but more than enough for carving corners or passing trucks with ease. Top speed, nearly 240 km per hour, almost R6 territory, without the back pain. At 189 kilograms dry, it hits the sweet spot, light and agile, yet stable enough for touring. That's where it shines: comfortable seat, relaxed bars, 19-liter tank, adjustable suspension. Perfect for city, country roads, and highways. Why doesn't anyone know it? Blame the R6. When Yamaha's lightweight racer stole the spotlight, the Thundercat was forgotten. But that's what makes it affordable today. Used prices range from $1,100 to $3,700, usually around $2,000 minus $3,500. Some riders have snagged good examples for $1,500. For those who'd rather ride than pose, this is a true sleeper, reliable, comfortable, and fun. Parts are easy to find, the engine runs smooth, and while it won't steal stares, it will put a smile on your face every time. Number 5 Honda XR650L. You've probably walked past one without really noticing. Too bad, because the Honda XR650L is basically a tank disguised as an enduro. Since 1993, Honda hasn't changed a thing. Same 644cc air-cooled single, same steel frame, same minimalist design. No screens, no ride modes, no gimmicks. And that's its strength, it doesn't need updates because it just works. This thing is a Kalashnikov on two wheels. Riders have thrashed it through deserts, over rocks, dumped it in rivers, and it still runs. Trail, commute, or backcountry, the XR650L does it all. Why overlooked? Simple. It's tall, really tall. With a 94 cm seat height, shorter riders won't even attempt it. It's also heavier than modern enduros and has zero show. No Dakar styling, no aggressive looks, just a red tank, a round headlight, and the aura of a bike that could knock down a mountain. It doesn't try to impress, it tries to survive. While adventure bikes keep getting bigger, more complicated, and more expensive, the XR stays brutally simple and brutally reliable. Parts are everywhere, maintenance is easy, electronics are almost non-existent. It's not a Swiss Army knife, it's a sledgehammer. Price: around $7,600 new. Used ones go for $3,500, $6,000. Dealers list them closer to $6,000, private sales near $3,500, about half the new price for a bike that outlives your pickup. If you want a dual sport that won't baby you, won't quit, and won't let you down, the XR650L is your answer. Not pretty, not trendy, but almost indestructible. Number 4 Royal Enfield Hunter 350. Sometimes you come across a bike that does everything right, not because it's flashy, but because it keeps things simple. That's the Royal Enfield Hunter 350. No loud ad campaigns, no overloaded tech, just a straightforward bike with more character than many rivals. At around $5,000, it undercuts competitors like Yamaha's MT-03 or KTM's 390, yet still feels high quality. Powered by a 349cc air-cooled single in classic retro style. In the US, it's still a hidden secret. No markups, no waitlists, and at bike meets, you'll probably be the only one with it. Details are spot on: round headlight, teardrop tank, ribbed seat, analog digital gauges. Sure, only 20 horsepower, but this isn't a race bike, it's built for cruising. Light, relaxed, practical, ideal for city traffic or weekend trips. And because it's simple, it's easy to work on. No EQ drama, no sensor overload, just old school. New models start at $3,999 for base colors, $4,199 for premium. Used ones go for $2,900, $3,700, some 2023 models even under $3,000, which is insane. Not perfect, the clutch is a bit stiff, the seat isn't plush, and yes, there are vibrations, but that's part of its charm. Royal Enfield also offers plenty of cheap accessories for customization. The Hunter 350 hits the sweet spot: cool, simple, full of soul. Number 3 Kawasaki Zephyr 550. If you've ever dreamed of a classic 4-cylinder without draining your bank account, meet the Kawasaki Zephyr 550, one of the best bargains in Japan's used market. In the early 90s, while everyone chased the latest supersports, Kawasaki said, "Let's bring the 70s back." The result was a modern tribute to the legendary Z1. Round headlight, teardrop tank, the full retro charm without old-timer headaches. Performance isn't monstrous, but it doesn't need to be. Around 50 horsepower from a silky smooth air-cooled inline-4. Top speed about 180 km per hour. The magic is in the mid-range, where you actually ride. Maintenance is simple. No liquid cooling, no EQ drama, just a bulletproof motor as long as you keep the carbs clean. Upright riding position, wide bars, low seat, beginner-friendly, practical, and wallet-friendly. It's the kind of bike that disappears under you until you realize you've been grinning for an hour. Why not famous? Bigger Zephyrs, 750 and 1100, stole the spotlight. Suzuki's Bandit 600 took the budget crowd. The 550 slipped through the cracks. Today it's super cheap, $1,800, $2,500 in the US, about $2,000 in Canada, £2,500 in the UK, $3,000, $3,700 in Australia. For an old-school four-cylinder with so much character, it's a bargain. Number 2, BMW R80. Every list of underrated motorcycles eventually lands on a BMW Boxer. The R80 shows why. Not the fastest, not the most powerful, but legendary for indestructibility. Introduced in the late 70s, built through the 80s, it was the sweet spot of the Airhead series. Simple enough to wrench on, strong enough for long distances. At its core, a 797cc Boxer twin with about 50 horsepower. Sounds modest, but the torque delivers. Smooth, predictable power, stable chassis, highway comfort that made crossing continents feel like Sunday rides. The low center of gravity made it surprisingly nimble despite its size. And then, legendary durability. Many run 160,000 plus km with just valve adjustments and oil changes. Shaft drive nearly maintenance-free. Electronics rock solid, especially compared to Italians and Brits of the era. Looks simple, round headlight, flat seat, clean lines. Classic BMW, no nonsense. Because it lacked the prestige of the R90 or R100, prices are still reasonable, around $3,500, $5,000 in the US. In Europe, prices are climbing but still affordable. Sure, cold starts can be cranky, carbs need sinking, and it won't win drag races. But it gives a timeless feel, a motorcycle that breathes history. The R80 proves BMW built bikes not for a few years, but for decades. That's why it remains a sleeper deal. Number 1, Moto Guzzi V65. Talk Moto Guzzi and most mention the big Le Mans, the 850s, or the 1000s. But in the 80s, there was an underrated middleweight, the Moto Guzzi V65. A bike that proves you don't need brute power to experience pure Italian motorcycle soul. Its heart, a 643cc transverse V-twin, air-cooled, around 50 horsepower. Doesn't sound spectacular, but thanks to its light weight and low center of gravity, it rides with surprising zest. Twist the throttle and that trademark Guzzi pulse reminds you instantly, this isn't a soulless commuter, it's a bike with character. Its balance is special, big enough for highways, small enough for the city. Shaft drive for low maintenance, a tough engine, quirky but charming handling. Straight line stable, a little odd in tight corners, but once you get it, it rewards you twice over. Looks, pure 80s Guzzi, square tank, minimalist seat, wire wheels on some versions, engine proudly exposed. No poser, just authentic Italian. The bonus, collectors chase the big Guzzis, leaving the V65 cheap. In Europe, usually €2,500, €4,000. In the US, rare but still affordable, for a reliable Italian, that's a steal.